Hey everyone, what's good? Welcome back to the channel. This is SilverHyena. Before we begin, I'd like to take this opportunity to mention my Instagram at SilverHyena.art. Over there, I post works in progress, behind the scenes, and sneak peeks. Okay, so now that we've got that self-promotion established, this sketch here was something that I actually began at my grandma's house. Now, the reason why this is so important to me and why I felt the need to finish this sketch is because my grandma recently passed away. I threw this down while sitting at the kitchen counter that was like the central hub of my grandma's place. A house filled with a ton of happy memories that I'll probably never step foot in or see again. When I lived in Washington, her house was the place my brother and I went to like every other weekend or so. After moving to Texas, that was something we both missed. Honestly, my grandma was what I like to refer to as a positive stereotype. She was a genuine, sweet little old lady. And whenever you went over there was always coffee available. Coffee that was usually consumed at the before-mentioned counter where I started this drawing in the first place. Seriously, her place was where we had a majority of Thanksgiving desserts, Christmases, Christmas Eves, and like I said earlier, my brother and I would go out there to visit and help her out with her yard work. And she has a big yard. My grandma absolutely loved gardening. Not only did she have a lot of gorgeous flowers growing all over her property, including roses, daffodils, fuchsias, daylilies, and even a Hawaiian bird of paradise. She also had several apple trees, huckleberry bushes, raspberries, blackberries, strawberries, fresh mint. It was, and quite frankly still is, incredible. Like a nature retreat. It's very rural out there, and she often had animals coming out to visit, such as deer and elk. One time there was a raccoon that paid a visit. So glad I was there to see that. Also a plethora of different birds. Everything from common crows to Steller's jays, woodpeckers, chickadees, and finches. Then there were Grandma's personal favorite, the hummingbirds. I swear, the hummingbird is her spirit animal. But there were also herons, hawks, eagles, and even owls. Heck, at one point there was even a bear wandering about her property. So yeah, as you might have guessed, it was a seriously amazing place to visit. This place holds so much history for my family, and it's painful to think that I'll never visit again. That I won't see my grandma or hear her voice again. One thing I remember was sitting at the kitchen counter, seeing a new bird out the window neither one of us had seen before. Then here I am trying to look it up on my phone while she pulls out this great big tome that is filled with every known bird species of bird found in North America, and well, she found it first. I don't even remember what it was. All I remember was that here she is flipping through a book. I'm trying to use the latest and greatest tech, and she finds it first. My grandma was very old school. Didn't even have a computer. She loved recounting stories of getting those scam callers that claimed to be from Microsoft. You know, the ones that call you in the middle of dinner to tell you that they've detected a virus on your computer and they're going to tell you where to go in order to fix it. Then she'd tell them, now how did you manage that? Then she'd tell them, now how did you manage that? Like clockwork, the scammers would unload more BS, and once the hole was dug deep enough, Grandma would drop the bomb. I don't have a computer. Click. Seriously, that Old lady was savage before savage was a thing. But all the joking and humor aside, I really miss her. I was lucky enough to grow up knowing her, spend time with her. She was an awesome woman. As corny as it may sound, I feel like finishing this piece kind of completes my final memory of my grandma. I believe that residual energy is a very real thing. And my grandma had several dragon figurines in her kitchen alcove, so I know she'd have loved this. Even if my style of art may not have always been her thing, Grandma was always supportive of me. Like I said, she was amazing. Anyways, I like to think that this dragon here is salivating because the cookies are done. My grandma single-handedly ruined store-bought gingerbread for me. Her gingerbread is the stuff of legends. It was divine. Anyways, thanks for listening to me go on and on and on about my grandma. I didn't really go into the markers themselves, but I have reviewed the Blick Studio Markers before, although they very well deserve their own standalone review. I used some Copics alongside them when I did that review, but I don't really think that's important right now. But with all that being said, that's all the time we have for today's video. If you enjoyed learning a bit more about my family history, please be sure to gently tap that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I don't care how sappy it sounds, but I'm gonna say it. Love ya and miss ya, Grandma. With that being said, this is SilverHyena, signing off. Stay creative, everybody. Bye!